Hey, how's it going? Now, how do you forever become comfortable? Now, comfortable was not something that I would have said was a natural emotion for me. The underlying emotion for me was anxiety and stress, just constantly. Like a high-pitched buzz in my ear, just constantly going and worrying and thinking about things in the future, the present, or the past, or worrying about things that were completely out of my fucking control. And it was very consistent throughout my entire life. I say this in a lot of my videos, but the memories from this time period, between the ages of, I'm guessing like 10 to about 24, 25, had like a dark haze over them, like almost like dark clouds. And I remember the memories like kind of subtly starting to like lighten up as I started reaching, you know, my age of 27 now. But previously, I remember this dark cloud. And I was incapable of just relaxing in public, relaxing while I'm at my house. I was constantly stressing myself out, and you can see it in my face too. I've aged not too well up to this point because I just never know how to relax. Like I was constantly tense. I was constantly just worrying. And like it would come down to like maybe if I had to pay for something, my hands would shake as I was handing her some money. Maybe I would be walking somewhere where there's a lot of people and I'd be like thinking about how I'm walking. I'm like, oh shit, how am I supposed to walk? How do people walk? This is how it's supposed to look. Yeah, I'm gonna put my head like this, or I'm gonna stick my chest out, and I'm gonna express this to the outside world. As opposed to not just giving a fuck. As opposed to like just being able to just not really, you know, put things in my head that are like invaluable. Like, does it really matter about these strangers that are passing me by? Not really. Is it moving me towards my goal? No. Like, why don't I put my mind in somewhere where it's putting me into a better position in my life? Like, I'm worrying about all these things that are completely irrelevant. Like, does it matter what the cashier thinks about me? Does it matter about, you know, if my hand did shake or not? If I like fucking just like, you know, did like like just a high-pitched scream as I'm passing the dollar bill, like, you know, make me look like a fucking weirdo. Does it really matter? No. As long as I get to my grand scheme of things, getting into a better period in my life, to fixing my life, to making my life enjoyable. Like I worried about so many things. I victimized my situation, and it took me a long time to reach this point to where now finally, I gotta say life's pretty good. Like legitimately, this is the greatest period of my entire life, and I'm not just gonna get better as years go on, but I've reached such a level of just calm and peace. Like when I go in public, when I go into a loud, busy nightclub, because I'm a dating coach, take guys out to go and approach women, I'm just completely calm and I'm present. I don't worry about mitigating myself or my image to others. And this took a long time for me to do. In this video, I'm gonna teach you guys how to do this. How to completely let go and find relaxation anywhere you want. With that being said, let's get into the video.
Yeah, I confess, Father, I confess, 'cause I've been living.
All right, now as we get into this video, there's one concept I want you guys to have, okay? And that is emotions and thoughts are completely malleable. You can change them, and it's a skill set to learn to control your emotions and thoughts. For me, it was really hard to break out of this cycle of addictive emotions, and emotions are very addictive. They have a kind of momentum to them, all right? If you've been feeling angry a lot, more than likely, you're gonna continue feeling angry. It's not something that's gonna change, it's a habit. And you get this dark kind of prideful feeling off it. It's a very addictive emotion, along with stress, anxiety. They all have their own little like dark entities to them that lash themselves onto you. And the unfortunate thing about these is because they're so addictive and because they're so subtle, it's tough to unwire all the thoughts and beliefs that you built around this to keep this emotion in place, to keep yourself static. Now, as we go into this video, I'm gonna teach you guys how to pull these little characters off, these little demons, these egos. It's a lot. It takes a lot of self-work and a lot of focus. The idea I always have behind this is focus goes, energy flows. If you want to be relaxed, you have to change the inner. It's not that you're gonna change the outer world. The outer world's gonna forever be static to you. There's nothing really that you can do to change it. Like you can't change human behavior, but you can change how you behave to the outside stimuli, if you get what I'm saying. However, you can change the way that you react to life, the way that you react to outside stimuli, to build an internal locus of control. Now, like I said, relaxation is the desired effect. All right, you want to always feel relaxed. Now, something that I do to help myself, to remind myself every day to feel relaxed, is that I do a self-audit. Now, obviously, what are things that are not relaxation? Anger, stress, it's worry, you know, it's like all this anxiety built up, sadness, things like this. Now, for me, it's occasionally, it's okay every so often to feel these emotions. The problem is though that nowadays people overdose on these emotions. They are getting them with way too much regularity. Like you think that being so anxious and stressed and pulling your fucking hair out is gonna get you success. You think that being sad makes you a better person. You think that being angry makes you more prideful and powerful. But in all actuality, it makes you weaker. It kills your willpower and it stresses you out and makes you die before your time. So let's start kind of alleviating this a little bit. All right, a little bit of anger is not bad. 1 in 10 times, it's good. However, the 9 in 10 times that you're getting angry is the problem. All right, this is the issue. Like, does it help to get road rage? Not really. So you got to unwind this. Start getting relaxed in traffic. Start maybe playing an audible. Make your time in traffic feel more leisurely. Maybe if you're late to work a lot and now you're all pissed off because of traffic, go to sleep earlier. Wake up earlier. And then you can take off at a proper time and get there with 10 minutes to spare. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a story that I tell probably on every video when I bring up the self-audit. So for those of you who've heard this story before, just skip ahead. I'll leave a timestamp down here at the bottom. But for those guys who've never heard this, essentially, I used to get really grumpy when I get tired, when I had to go work with a client. So what I started doing was, why am I getting grumpy? Why am I getting so stressed out to go to work with a client when I'm tired? And I realized it was because I wanted to work at a certain level and a certain skill that I wasn't capable of working at when I'm tired. So instead of accepting this and accepting that I'm going to be a little bit less than I usually am, I would fight this and I would beat myself up and be like, the client's going to notice that I'm not on point. Then I get grumpy and angry at the client instead of just looking at myself and being like, the client doesn't care. The client is, all he wants is your best foot forward. He doesn't know when you're on and when you're off. So why don't you just relax and put your best foot forward? Because like the more you stress yourself out about the fact that you're not as good as you usually are, it's going to actually make you even worse. So why not just accept it and do the very best you can in the moment? So when I realized this, the grumpiness went away and I stopped worrying about this shit. When I got tired, I don't get grumpy anymore. Now, another thing too, all right, there are certain societal beliefs and thoughts that are very ingrained in the culture, but they might not necessarily be helping you out personally. Okay, now I'm going to tell you guys another story. Now, one of my friends, he is kind of a social cavalier. He is a person that does a lot of things in his life that others would say, oh my God, this guy's a weirdo. Why would this guy do such things? But he's a very powerful character and a very charismatic person. He's also one of my amazing wings that absolutely just slays with women. And one of the reasons he slays with women is because he has a strong enough self-belief about himself to modify his world as he sees fit. Right now, I'm in our apartment. So I live with my wingman, and him and me, we have this thing in our house where we can just walk around naked. Why? Because we want to be absolutely comfortable when we're at our place. We want to be absolutely just relaxed. If a girl, like one of my girls walks out while she's naked, his girl walks out, it's not that big a deal. The reason we did this was because we decided that as a societal belief wasn't very helpful. Like, we interchange and replace beliefs depending on what we want out of our lives, not based on what other people want out of our lives. Like the fact that I'm saying this right now, some guys are going to think that's kind of weird. But I have an internal looks control. I can handle it. I am going to build my life around me in a way that I want. Relationships. I also have a very high sex drive. I can't be with a singular woman. So I build open relationships with a bunch of women, and I still want love. So sex doesn't equal love for me. It's an expression. I'm willing to change my cultural beliefs and my own culture, and I'm willing to develop this around me so that I can make my life as relaxed and built to me as humanly possible. I build my life around me. I build it so that like my entire ecosystem is perfect. I don't like my house. My house is like completely built differently. I have mirrors in certain places. I put post-it stamps on walls so I can remind myself to do certain things. I have a full wall full of just notes on things that I want to change about myself. And I have all this based on my own personal culture that I developed for me to push me as best as I possibly can, to build it around me based on my specific quirks. Like obviously, like a society is like is not a one size fits all. In general, it's not all of it. Like if you think logically and critically, is going to be there to help you. Another thing about this is that, so me and my friend, I remember that we were in an Uber one day, and the Uber driver kept trying to talk to him, and my friend, not wanting to talk to the Uber driver because the Uber driver was kind of just annoying him, just ignored him. Now for me, I felt the need to fill the space. Now, the thing is you got to realize other people are the same as you. They just have different life experiences. Nobody's built from different cloth. There's something that made them that way, and you can steal the same exact things from them that they're expressing in the world. Like The Rock Johnson, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is the same as you. When you look at somebody, you're like, that's another version of me. What can I take from this version of me, and how does he think about that one thing that caused him to do this? So I asked him, why are you able to be silent when somebody asks you a question? When I ask you a question sometimes, why do you not respond? And the way that he responded was that he likes being playful with the tension. Like he likes being quiet and silent sometimes because it builds that tension. He likes kind of like messing around with it and playing with it. So now I took on this mindset. Now for me, it's no problem. Just be silent sometimes and just relax. It doesn't make me an asshole. It just means that I don't want to engage with this particular person. And after working for myself for so long now, I prefer to keep it that way. Not everybody is somebody that I want in my ecosystem. Now, I'm going to get back into the fundamentals of the game at some point on my other YouTube channel, on my dating channel. But I'm going to go through this really fast. Being grounded. Now, being grounded is something that I had a hard time explaining in the past, and I knew intuitively what it was. I just didn't know how to put it into words. Now I can put it into a lot better into words. Now, groundedness is not necessarily what I would call like resistance to the outside world, as I said in the past, which you know, it is kind of a facet of it, but it's not the whole story. What it actually is that the world around you gets quiet. Things that for another person would be a huge fucking big deal is not that big a deal for you. This is the reason that when people have near-death experiences, why all of a sudden they get more focused with what they want out of life. They stop worrying about the little things. A person who's grounded doesn't give a fuck about the little things. When somebody's mad at him, he's like, oh, that's cool. That person can be mad at me. We're both gonna die at the end of this. That person could go be pissed off all he wants. He can go scream, cry. He can go off himself. I don't give a fuck. I'm fine with me. I'm fine by myself. And it comes from this grounded place. It's like everything's quiet. Like when a baby's crying on a plane, or when you're in traffic and you feel like being angry at somebody, when somebody wants to get in a fight with you, when you're going through stressful life situations that for other people, their knees would buckle, you stay resolute. Not because it's such a big thing for you to handle, because you're such a strong, burly man, but because it's just not that fucking big a deal. This is groundedness. This is what actually grounded is. All right, and this is what I want you guys to embody. Now, the way that you get this is by accumulating little wins, by building keystone habits, by teaching yourself over and over again that you're a resolute structure, that you are a person worthy of social status, that you are not a lowly cretin. Like a lot of people, I think that nowadays, like because we're in this big ass world with all these shiny objects, with all these huge ass celebrities that get these amazing, incredible lives, being at that very top of the 0.001%, you look at them, you're like, I'm not that person. You start telling yourself that you're worthless, even though you're doing really fucking well in your own life. Like a lot of you guys watch my videos. I've worked a lot of you guys on boot camps and consultations. Like most of you guys are really fucking successful, and you guys are still beating yourselves up so fucking heavily. Like, take it easy on yourself. Like, you are doing amazing, first and foremost. If you're watching this video, you care about your life enough to watch my video this far in, you're doing fucking amazing, all right? You're doing great, and you're building momentum in your own life. And for this one purpose alone, this is something I'm gonna steal from another guy, which I love personally, but steal value from the future you. If you're not where you wanna be yet, but you're taking action towards that end goal, you need to borrow value from the future. Like me, when I talk to a girl, I know that one day I'm probably gonna be famous. I know that one day I'm probably gonna be making millions of dollars. So when I talk to a girl, I'm not talking to a girl from young, punky version that I am right now. Because I know that future me, when I'm 35, 40, is gonna be a completely different fucking beast. And it's gonna be somebody that any girl would be lucky to date. And for this reason, when I talk to somebody, I don't have any problem with like a value dissonance. I don't look at somebody and talk to them and be like, oh, this guy's so much cooler than me. I'm just like, nah, I have so much fucking inertia and value like built into my future. It's not that big a deal for me to just talk to somebody as a person. It's not a big deal for me to talk to a famous person because I'm gonna be just where they are one day, the same way that I am here right now. Now, another thing a lot of people do is they build egos. Now, when you build an ego, when you start building up this identity, like I'm the big muscular tough guy, and you start walking up the street like I'm tough guy, you can't be really relaxed because now you have to hold up this facade. Now let's say you're walking along, big tough guy, and you trip. Oh shit, I tripped. Oh shit. It's such a big deal because I built up an ego that isn't really me. I'm building up this wall against me in the outside world to protect my confidence. Big tough guy, tripped. Shit, oh no, my life's over. Or let's say like you're like, I'm smooth and suave. And then all of a sudden like, I don't know, let's say that you decide you're gonna go do pickup, or you're gonna go approach a girl, and you're trying to be suave. And then you get rejected the very first girl, your ego is shattered. Now from here, how easy is it gonna be for you to attract a woman? It's gonna be goddamn near impossible because you built up an ego beforehand. For me, I try to be absolutely egoless. I'm okay with rejection. I'm okay with maybe me being a little bit goofy at times. This is why like people in the pickup community, they're gonna be like, I'm gonna do something goofy, and then because I'm doing something goofy, now I have no ego, and it works. It works because you're no longer James Bond. You can't fucking possibly be James Bond after you're doing something fucking goofy. You can't fucking do it. It's impossible. All right, now the next concept is gonna be called emotional gas mask. Now for me, until I'm in a good positive mood, I don't worry about other people's emotions because my emotions are not resolute in upon themselves. So I'm not gonna muddy my own emotions up with somebody else's. So when I approach somebody, let's say I'm out talking to girls and I approach a girl, I'm not gonna go up to her and try to flip her and make her feel happier if she's already in a pissy mood. She's in a pissy mood, I'm gonna get that energy directed at me, and I'm in an emotional space to take it lightly and to like kind of mess with her. So when this is the case, I just go talk to somebody else. I don't take the time to mitigate other people's emotions. Now let's say that I'm in an Uber and I decide not to talk to the guy. Now the guy maybe he's like, oh, this guy's so rude. Oh, this guy's such a little prick for not talking to me. Gets his ego hurt. But for me, his emotions are his own problem. He's an adult. He needs to learn how to handle his emotions. It's not that I'm being rude. It's that he needs to learn how to handle his own emotions and be a good, resolute structure in upon itself. He doesn't need me to mitigate and control his emotions. All right, I'm not going to take the time or the energy to do that for him. Instead, I'm going to be chill and relaxed. If I don't feel like talking, I'm going to take my actions and I'm going to be the same person I'm on the inside as the person on the outside. I don't want to talk. So I'm not going to talk. I'm going to be chilled out. I don't need to talk to you. I'm talking to a girl and she crossed the line. I don't need the girl, so I'm gonna draw the line really fast. Be like, look, I'm gonna say it with the way I look at her, the way that I act, so that she knows not to do that anymore. I'm not gonna let somebody bully me, so that they feel better. Like I'm not gonna make myself look smaller, so that somebody that's narcissistic feels bigger, which is something that I used to do when I was a lot younger. Like when I was younger, I used to act stupider, so that people that were above me would feel smarter. Nowadays, I don't have any problem acting the way that I am on the inside. And this is what you guys need to do too. Do not mitigate the person that you're expressing to the outside world because of other people's emotions. If they can't handle their emotions, it's their problem. You don't want to be around them anyways. It's best they know that you guys are not compatible with each other and they go away. Now, what would you do in private that you wouldn't do in public? You're probably watching this video at home. Now, as you're sitting on your couch and you're just relaxing, what would happen if a stranger walked into your house? Would you sit differently? Would you act differently than you would, previously? What is the difference between you in private and you in public? Now you want to merge the two. You want to make the version of you in private the same as in public. I mean, don't reach down your pants and scratch your balls necessarily, but start loosening up on this. Now, I found that I love sprawling out, and I sprawl out now. It's not particularly rude for me. I'm not going to judge myself based on the manners of other people. I want to do this specific judgment, and I'm only going to be here for so long. If I want to be comfortable and sit down in a way, I'm going to sit down in that way. If I want to speak in a way, if I want to cuss, I want to say fuck, I'm going to cuss. I'm going to say what I want. I want my world to be absolutely free. I don't want to have to mitigate myself for other people. I want to be 100% expressive and have no reason why I can't talk to other people in the way that I'm thinking. I want the same version of myself to be the same version with everybody. Which takes me to the next point. You guys want the version that you are with your mom, with your girlfriend, with your best friend, with some stranger on the street. You want them all to be the same fucking person. Now, the problem is that everybody's trying to make all these different characters and personalities in themselves. And they're like, oh, here's mom. Now it's time to act like this. Oh, here's my girlfriend's parents. I'm going to act like this. No, but you always want to be the same person, because when you're mitigating, you're changing your personality constantly. It's burning willpower. It's causing stress. You're mitigating yourself to the other person. You're doing things to make the other person like you, as opposed to just being yourself. When you're doing this, you're having decision fatigue. You're stressing yourself out. You're worrying about what they think. So if you take a wrong step, you're like, oh shit, here we go. You can't actually be honest and authentic with them. As long as you have good intentions behind anything you do, you should 100% be able to be yourself, regardless of what other people are going to think about you. Because if anybody's going to try to put you in a cage, despite the fact you're being relaxed and cool, there's somebody in their emotions. It's not something you really want to deal with anyways. Essentially, you want to have abundance in your life. You want to have abundance of friends, family, girls. And when you have this abundance in your life and everything like that, it allows you to treat people like people. If somebody leaves out of your social circle, it's fine, they can leave. You are 100% okay with yourself and by yourself. And with that being said, peace.
Made a face of a long night, yeah. Made love with the lights on, yeah. Came up, no cosign, yeah. Watch me as I make a lifelong, yeah. Watch me as I turn a life from a daydream. Learn a couple things from the night to play me. I was waiting in the car, trying to doze off. Now they gon' play me in the car and the TV. Caught feelings, caught the bitch cheating. Cold waves, fish to keep feeding. My shine was built from the ground up. My stock price is increasing.